we will see how the lost stones fly. My name is Joni-Pekka, welcome to the channel. Here we have a red mystery box that Discmania provided. Now you've likely already seen unboxing videos and know roughly what to expect, so we're not gonna unbox it here. Instead I'll try to give you something different from most videos. According to Discmania, there should be 3 lost stones on each box, and those are the discs that most people seem to be interested in. Now here we have a bunch of them, and we're gonna throw each of them in the field and compare them against similar discs in the Discmania lineup. First we have the new Color Glow C-Line P3X or the Iron Stone, and the discs we're comparing it against are the old S-Line P3X, the Cosmic Fury, and the Glow Sensei. I'm throwing with gloves here, so I'm losing a little bit of spin and discs fly a little more understable. I actually released this in a slight hyzer angle, but it never gets to flat, so it's definitely overstable. You can throw this really hard and it won't turn over, nor will it really dump. The old P3X has a slightly different profile, and this one is just a little bit in, so it will flip a little, and it's definitely straighter. You can throw the Cosmic Fury hard on a higher line and it'll just push straight for a long time. Now I threw this one a little too high, so it will fade in the end. These Glow Senseis are pretty overstable. Now I yanked this a little bit here, but it still fights left in the end. Out of these 3 discs, this one is perhaps closest to the new P3X. Next we have the Neo PD or the Phenom Stone, and the discs we're comparing it against are the Nordic Phenom 2, the C-Line PD, and the S-Line PD. I bag a PD and these feel great in hand, so one of these will probably make my bag in the summer. I threw this a little low, but the Phenom Stone will flip a little and have a long straight flight before fading. This one I released flat, so it turned right just a little bit, but had that reliable fade in the end. These two fly pretty identical to each other. I gave this some height. It's a little bit in, so it turns early in the flight and has some great glide. This had a slight anhyzer release, flew a pretty straight flight but has beef to it and fights left in the end. This I released flat and pretty low, flew really straight, and because of the low line even the skips took it more forward than left. Next we have the Flex 1 C-Line FD3 or the Doomstone, and we're comparing it against the C-Line FD3, the Metal Flake C-Line FD3, and the Doombird 4. I can get a great grip from these and I'm able to throw this pretty hard. It just flips a little from the hand and flies straight. Definitely less stable than most FD3s. This throw isn't very powerful, but it still doesn't dump hard left, but actually flies mostly straight. This is just so beefy. I'm throwing it really hard here, and even on a pretty low line, but once the fade kicks in, it goes left hard and skips. I yanked this a little bit, but you can still see that this is way straighter than the C-Line. And finally the Doombird, it just wants to go left. Then we have the Neo FD or the Nightstone, and we're comparing it against the C-Line FD, the S-Line FD, and the Swirly S-Line FD. I gave this a decent hyzer and some height. It flipped to flat and glided nicely. Still comes back in the end here, even though we had a slight headwind. Again, I'm giving this hyzer and it flips to flat and pushes forward. I'm being pretty careful with the power, but it still bites some nice distance. This is the farthest flying FD I have. It'll keep turning for longer, and when given height like in here, it flies far. Hyzer release once more, even turns over a little bit but has slightly more stability than the S-Line. And finally the C-Line Instinct or the Dark Stone, and we're comparing it against the Neo Instinct, the C-Line FD1, and the Color Glow C-Line FD. Slight hyzer release here once again. Turns over a little and holds that angle for most of the flight. Goes far and has a modest fade in the end. More hyzer here than when I gave the Dark Stone. Still turns over pretty late in flight. Comes back left at the very end for a nice long flight. This I'm throwing hard and flat. It's way more overstable than either Instinct, but the fade doesn't kick in as early as in FD3s. This one was a rip into a slight headwind. I gave it plenty of power and height. It turns pretty hard, but still comes back left. And we're back inside. Let me know in the comments what you thought about the discs. I personally was excited about these mystery boxes because I prefer softer plastic in general, and that's what most of the stones came in. I've been bagging a PD, an FD, and an FD3. I prefer the hand feel of the stone versions of those molds, so they will likely make my bag. I also throw powders a lot, and the P3X is fantastic. You can throw it really hard and it won't turn over, so I feel like I know exactly what it does, but yet it doesn't really dump either, so it's very controllable. As I'm about to publish this video, the black mystery boxes are about to come out. The team players have been throwing the C-Line Tactics for a long time, and PD2s that I believe are of new production, so I'm really excited to see if either or both come in the black box. That's it. Thank you for watching till the end. Check out the mystery boxes on Discmania online store, and maybe I'll see you again next time.